Hello, deal makers. One of the challenges that a person normally goes through is finding their life purpose. But I've noticed that if you don't know your purpose, sometimes you'll go aimless in your life, and sometimes you will be so unhappy. You'll be finding what you'll be jumping from one opportunity to the next, and it's going to be very, very expensive for you doing that because you have to learn and relearn something. And if you want to develop, no, if you want to build wealth over time, no, it's much easier if you can find your true purpose, your life purpose, or your ikigai right at the very beginning, right? Or if that is not the case, if you, it's much better, if you can find it now, so that you can spend the rest of your life, living out your purpose, building your wealth, and experiencing lifelong happiness and satisfaction. And that is going to be the focus of our episode for tonight. So, if this is your first time to watch in this channel, welcome to the Dealmaker channel. I'm Ronald Kagape. And in this series, I'm inviting different people who can help us live our lives better, make more money, so that we can become more wealthy. And my guest for tonight is a very special person. She is dear and close to my heart because as a member of Toastmasters, she is my mentor. In Toastmasters, she was a past district governor. That means she was the head honcho of the entire Toastmaster Philippines some years back, and she is also the founder and president of Muzen Core Consulting. That this is a training and HR consulting company that gives out various trainings in different soft skills development in different corporate training fields. And she's also a Knowdell certified career coach or a job coaching and transition coach or job and career transition coach. I hope I got that correctly. But I'm going to ask our guest to give us more insight into finding our ideal career, finding our life purpose. Please help me welcome my mentor, Miss Katrina Letargo. Hi, Gov JJ.
Hi, Ronald. How are you?
Yes, very good. How about you? How are you?
Oh, good. We just came from another town hall meeting last night with Toastmasters. So they made me the host for that session or facilitator. So yeah,
All
generally
right.
I'm good.
All right, thank you, thank you. Now, if you're wondering why I'm calling her Gov JJ, because she was a past district governor, like I mentioned earlier, and she's been a long time member of Toastmasters, and recently she actually helped me, find my own purpose. The last year, the pandemic, that really was very stressful for me, and I was going aimless, but with the help of Gov JJ, my mentor, she guided me in the right direction. And my hope is that for tonight, she can give you tips on how you can find your ikigai as well. So, Gov, can you give us, before we get into that, can you give us like a quick background? How did you get into career coaching? What was your background before, and why are you doing this now? And
Okay. So thank you, Ronald. Well, actually, not actually career coaching per se, but it just happened that even prior to having certified as a career coach, it seemed that people have been coming to me seeking advice. So, regardless if it's about their career, their decisions that they need to do in terms of, let's say, they have a problem with their boss, and sometimes bordering also into portion of their love life. But I'll just
Mhm.
focus on the career concerns of some individuals. So, ever since people have been coming to me and sharing me their concerns in life. And in 2019, okay, one of my colleagues in Muzen, okay, found this particular career coaching tool. And this is what we call the Knowdell career
Mhm.
tool. And what's different about this one is that for this particular coaching tool, it looks at a person's values, interests, the personality of the person, and even the skill set of the person. which is different from other coaching tools and techniques because it's somehow technical, and it helps the person now really look deeper into, other than their personality, the skills or the motivated skills that they have. Okay. So what's interesting is that we do card sorting. So if you
There.
can see, yes, there you go. I don't know if you can see this. So we have here the career values cards and the motivated skills values cards. Because what is important about knowing first your values, you have to know your core. You have
Mhm.
to know what's non negotiable for you. And it's very important because when choosing a career, when your non negotiables become in conflict with the values of the company, then problems may arise. That's why you always have
Yes.
concerns, and then you get to drag yourself to work. Likewise, we look at the motivated skills, the things that you love doing, even if they pay you or not pay you at all. You love doing it. Why? Because there are certain things you just love to do. Some people, they love to tinker things with their hands.
Yes.
Some are very musically inclined. Some just want to have fun in life. And of course, you earn while having
Yep.
fun as well.
Yep.
Okay. So that's why I ventured now into career coaching. So we do also certify other coaches who would like to seek being a job and career transition coach.
All right. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. I just realized that it's so nice that this ties up really really well with what my guest yesterday talked about. Yesterday, we talked about values driven goal setting. And what he mentioned yesterday was that if your goals, if you set goals that are not aligned with your values, then you will not reach them.
Yes.
More likely, it's more likely that you will not reach the goals or that you will give up, especially when you meet difficulties while you are trying to achieve that goals. And now you mentioned that this tool, the Knowdell card sort, is all about finding your deepest values, values
Yes.
in terms of career. What areas, what kind of areas can they discover? Value
Okay.
areas can they discover when they do this exercise?
So there are different items there. Talks about, let's say, family, talks about
Hmm.
time. So when you take a look at the core values, you will have to rank them. What is important to you? An example of things that you always value would be: do you value security? Would you value diversity? Do you value integrity?
Hmm.
So these are some, do you value fun and humor? So these are some examples of the things when we do the card sort. There's also another one: do you value time freedom? So
Yes.
once you see all of these things and then you have to rank them, what is non-negotiable for you? In my case, when I did this, I value I value family. I value work-life balance. I value influencing people. Okay. And then I value integrity. So
Hmm.
if I work for a company who will not value integrity, I will not survive in that
Yes.
workplace.
Yes.
So these are the things that you have to consider.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that's why knowing also what's very intrinsic and what you always value
Yep.
is very
Okay.
important because these are your non-negotiables.
Yes, yes. And it's actually the exercise itself, was very interesting. When I went through it, you just made me choose between two things, right? If I remember correctly, each card has, or I think it has only one item. Is that correct?
Hmm? Oh no, each card has one specific value,
Yeah,
but
all
you
right.
have
One
to
specific
sort
value.
them if this is
Okay.
something that you always value, you sometimes
Yep.
value, okay, or you never value at all. So there are
Yeah.
five things that you have to choose from.
All right. So now I
Yes.
remember. And when you go through that exercise, I I remember there are a lot of values. And so when you go through that exercise, it the values that really matter to you, they actually go up. So Yeah, that's why it is a sorting process. Galing. So I
Yes.
also have a computer programming background, so I know the sorting
Yeah.
algorithm. And so, but I guess can you give us like just a little bit insight? Why is it important, for us to find our deepest values? Now, you mentioned a little bit about that earlier, but are there individuals that say can live through life without knowing their values and still succeed, or are there people that it becomes much easier when they know their deepest values and they are in sync?
Okay. It's it would be easier for a person to be in sync and know their values, because it's going to be easy for them actually when they choose the career path that they want,
Hmm.
because knowing what they value and knowing the skill set that they have and that what they can still develop would really help them boost their career. Okay, what do I mean by that? Okay. Even as a child, remember, even as a child, we had this in one of our discussion. It's like what
Yes.
you've been dreaming of when you were a child. And I distinctly remember you said, I've always wanted to be an astronaut, but how come I haven't been an astronaut? And then if you look at the characteristic or even the competency of what an astronaut needs to have, actually,
Hmm.
you have them. Remember, for astronauts, they go on adventure. They want to.
Yes.
I think I messaged it that to you, and you're always on a adventure for new knowledge. You seek
Yep.
new discoveries, and
Yep.
I think that's what you've been doing. And I think because you also have this one, you might not be called an astronaut, but you are going on an adventure in terms of going to deeper knowledge, knowing about more things, knowing what's there in the unknown. So in a way, it's like
In
you're
a
an
way.
yeah, already exploring, and that makes you now aligned. But of course, if you are not yet, living what you really want, then you find yourself. I don't know if you have experienced this, but I have experienced this before. When you drag yourself to work every day
Yes.
because you
Yes.
just need to earn, a girl's got to eat, but
Yep.
you're not really happy, but you just have to do it. And then maybe it's okay for a year. So you get 2 years, 3 years, but most often than not, you see yourself seeking for, some may think it's a greener pasture,
Hmm.
because there's something that's not right, but you can't
Yes. Yes.
pinpoint it. But there's something missing, there's something not right, but you just don't know what it is, because we haven't been exposed at an early age on really knowing what we really want, and
Right.
what we can really earn from by doing what we really love doing.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I come from a generation wherein you're supposed to finish your school, earn a
Yep.
degree, and
Yep.
then get a job.
Same generation.
Yes.
So yeah. Okay, uh so that's why it's really important that we find our life purpose or our ikigai. But I think we jumped a bit uh that we dove straight into the Knowdell process. Can we just go back a little step back on that Japanese term, the ikigai?
Hmm.
Maybe can you help us define it, make it clear, just for those who are not familiar with the concept?
Okay. With Ikigai, I'm not sure if you've seen the book of Ikigai. It's
Mhm.
it's called the Ikigai Japanese Secret to a Long and Happy Life, and they're saying there are keys to longevity. Okay.
Okay.
And if you know your purpose, so in Ikigai, they have a diagram, and it tells us on what you love to do and what you're good at and what you can be paid for and what the world needs. So you would get to know your passion, your mission, your vocation, and of course, your profession. And before I actually read the book, I already saw the diagram of Ikigai, finding your life's purpose. And for me to be able to do that, I had to list down really what I love doing. I had to list down what I'm good at. And
Yes.
looking at the diagram, it looked like a Venn diagram that's more complex. What I can be paid for. And it has made me realize that what I've been doing really is something that I can also be paid for. There you go. Thank you for showing that diagram. Okay? Because in my case personally, and everybody knows, it's like they think that Toastmasters is my other career. But I really
Hmm.
don't get paid for that. But I've been doing that for 26 years. Because what I've realized is that my passion is to solve things. My passion is to speak as well. Okay? My
Right.
mission is to impart knowledge. So when I said, oh, that's right. That's why I'm now in the training business. My vocation is to teach, to give advice. So I said, no wonder I used to teach in universities because even if I'm not paid a lot, I get to impart knowledge. So
Yes.
finally, because all of these things came into being, my profession now became I'm a consultant, I'm a trainer. And even for
Hmm.
Toastmasters, they have asked me to be the district consultant because
Hmm.
I give advice. So that's how I found my own life's purpose or my ikigai.
All right. So it's like it's the yeah, when you find your mission that aligns with your passion, and it's also your profession and vocation. That's your ikigai.
Yes. Okay. That's why a lot of people thought I graduated with a degree in psychology, but
Hmm.
actually my background is I graduated with a degree of library science.
Oh
So
wow.
I'm actually yes, I'm a licensed librarian, but I did practice. But if you notice, even for that profession, I still impart knowledge.
Yes.
But
Yes.
but the thing is, I don't get to speak a lot. Remember, when you're a librarian, they
Yep.
say you have to be quiet in the library. Although there's a
Yes.
new there's a new kind of being a librarian now. We do knowledge management.
Mhm.
But because I also love talking, I love speaking. Then that's the missing part in my being a
Right.
librarian.
Right.
So when I got exposed in Toastmasters, that's where I got to speak more. That's where I got to impart more knowledge. So I ventured into teaching and of course into training and now in consulting.
Okay.
But it's a long process. Can you imagine if at the start I knew I could be a consultant? Maybe I
Yeah.
wouldn't be a librarian.
Yes. Yes. So this is actually so it seems to me that this is actually valuable also for students.
Yes. Yes, definitely. And with well, I'm taking care of my inaanak, the 15-year-old. So what we realized, like in her case,
Hmm.
when she knew what I was doing, she said, "Oh, that's very important for us." She said because she's in grade 10, and then
Hmm.
they now have she has to choose whether it's STEM or ABM. So they have these certain tracks because as
Yes.
she
Yes.
said, we don't know what we really want. But let's say in her case, I have noticed that she already likes, editing videos, doing a lot of multimedia
Hmm.
and also languages. So we keep, encouraging her. When I did the card sort for her, it shows because her core value or one that is non-negotiable for her is fun and humor,
Right. Right.
which means whatever work she does should be fun for her. So
Yes.
it's
Yes.
fun for her editing videos. So, okay, go ahead, edit videos. We let her also edit some of our, Toastmaster videos. So
Oh, nice.
I hope
Okay.
she will not see it as work, but she
Yes. Yes.
enjoys it. So,
Yes.
so I hope parents would really, encourage their children. It might
Hmm.
seem for some no waste of time, but they
Hmm.
might actually be a very lucrative business, or it might be something that they can get paid for in the future
Right.
because
Right.
they'd be very skilled at doing that and they will enjoy doing that as well.
Yes. So they won't have problems, motivating themselves, getting to work, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because um, I think this also is valuable also for millennials in the workplace, right?
Oh
So because
yes.
when, especially when they enter, right, when they enter the workplace, sometimes they're not really quite sure, especially if they did not get into this exercise, they're not quite sure if they're in the right place, the right spot, the right career. So at the very least, with this exercise, they can discover what they're really good for and
Mm-hmm.
start planning to
Yes.
transition to that. Right?
And find out the skills that they already have and that they can
Hmm.
still develop. Why
Okay.
do I say that? In the other card sort, the motivated skills,
Hmm.
remember that when you create your resume or your CV, you put there your competencies and the skills.
Yes.
But there might come a time wherein you've been doing a certain work for a long time, so you become very competent at it. But
Yes.
then you are getting tired of doing that same thing. And so it
Uh-huh.
becomes your burnout skill.
Okay.
So when we did that exercise, one of my colleagues, one of her burnout skills, it appears, is talking to people. But she's highly proficient
Hmm.
at it. She's very good at
Hmm.
that. And she's in HR. And so I was thinking, okay, you have to remove that in your CV, that you're good at talking to, dealing with feelings. Okay?
Yes. Yes.
Dealing with feelings. Why? Because if they see you and they see your CV and you're good at that and you're in HR, remember in HR there are four things that you have to consider. You're gonna do recruitment, you're gonna do training, you're going to do, the payroll, comp and
Hmm.
ben, or you're going to do employee relations. When
Yes.
there are problem employees. So if you don't like dealing with feelings, but you're very good at it, and they see in your CV that one, most often than not, you will be assigned to do employee relations. You will deal with the
Yes.
problematic employees, but you hate
Okay.
doing that day in and day out. That's why it's very important to know as well. Yes, you're
Okay.
competent at something, but you're tired of doing that. So don't do that.
Right.
Doing admin stuff, you might be good at it, planning, organizing, but you would rather delegate doing some admin stuff because you
Ah,
can make
yes.
better use of your time doing something else.
Yes. Something that you're good at also, but something that you like that motivates you.
Something that motivates you to do.
All right. Right. So I'm seeing that this is really valuable for all levels, for students, for employees, for managers, supervisors, for leadership. Are there companies that are already implementing this, in their like HR practice?
Not all, but we do have some partnership with some groups where we can always do this carson, and we're going to launch our discovery session soon. Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, why is this very important? Because, okay, as you said, going back to that Ikigai, aside from knowing your purpose, it will also serve as your key to your longevity in life.
Okay.
Because if you love doing things, you will be happier. You will not get
Yes.
stressed out. Okay? And if you read the book, they are also saying that some of the keys, other than knowing your purpose or your Ikigai, okay, is you have to balance it with diet, exercise, and having strong social ties. When we say social ties, okay, have a broad circle of friends because you always see the support group. Other than the friends, have very strong family ties as well.
Hmm.
So this gives you a holistic side wherein, for your personal, your physical, you also have the social. And knowing your ikigai or your purpose, like the advertisement, no? Bakit ka bumabangon sa umaga? It gives you that
Yes.
reason to wake up in the morning.
Hmm.
That's why it's very important. Knowing your core, what you're good at, what you value, having the physical, mental, and social. Of course, can never discount the spiritual side.
Yes. So parang this exercise pala, it covers your entire life. Parang. So you
Yes.
mentioned it's a holistic exercise of finding happiness. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not just It's not just your career choice. Okay. Uh, can people do this on their own? Like yeah, finding their own like purpose, or can you give them some tips? Like say, if they want to do this on their own, what would you advise them to do?
Okay. So of course, normally people Google things, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then they
Yes.
want to find the answer there. Okay. But if you just take a look at the diagram really of Ikigai, the one you showed earlier, if you
Okay.
really
Let's
want to
let's
do
show
it,
it again.
yes, you have to really think about it thoroughly
Mhm.
and deeply. So go to when I did this actually, I always go every year on a retreat. I just can't go now because it's pandemic. But
Yes.
me and my friend, we usually go to Bukidnon, to the Monastery of the Transfiguration, where I can do a silent retreat and just be by myself in with nature and really list it down. So that's why when I did it, I had to go through each item, list down what are the things or what do I love to do. Talagang have a long list. And then
Yes.
list again what I'm good at. You really have to know yourself eh. You have to
Hmm.
list everything, whether it's as simple as, taking care of pets or planting or gardening. You have to list it down. Talking
Hmm.
to people, so you should have a long list. And then looking at those lists, okay? You have to assess which ones do you think you can would match, okay? That can be your profession, which can be
Right.
your mission. That's why when I did this on my own, this was before Knowdell having that
Yes.
certification. I mean, I did this 3 years ago. What I realized, and because what I've been doing, I mean, Toastmasters has always been part of my life, and I kept wondering why. That's because one of the things I love doing is helping people, giving advice. So no
Hmm.
wonder. So it's also something that is my mission,
Yep.
and it is my passion. So you would know you would know what you really love doing because you keep doing this every time eh. Like in your case, I know now you like, looking at stocks, you like numbers. So
Yes.
some people might not like looking at numbers every now and then, but that is something, you enjoy doing.
Yep. O-
So ganun lang yon. You have to know
Okay.
what is it you enjoy really doing, whether it's photography, writing, calligraphy.
Yeah, and it makes it easier, right, to make your own choices because you know what it is that you're good at and
Mhm.
what you enjoy doing, and what you get paid for.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, so really, this exercise is, highly recommended for everyone. But for example, say, because when you go on a retreat and when you do this introspection, sometimes when you do it on your own, it can also be difficult because if I remember, there's this principle in psychology, right, the Johari's window,
Mm,
where there is a side that there's a blind spot, right, where
true.
people people know, or people see you, or you see yourself one way, but actually others don't
Have
agree.
another
Right.
perception.
Right, right. So, how can a I guess how can a person get a more accurate, picture of their life purpose? Like when they do that exercise, because initially it's introspection. So
Mm-hmm.
do they also ask people around them?
Okay. That's one. Of course, you
Hmm.
ask people that you trust, and you can give you the hard and fast, the hard facts. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Another one is really get yourself a life coach.
Hmm.
It really helps. And actually, what they say, diba, even a shrink needs another shrink. So
Yeah.
you must have that. Not for some a life coach or a personal coach or a spiritual advisor works for them.
Hmm. Hmm.
So always find that person that you are very comfortable discussing things. So yung
Yes.
iba nga akala na they just talk to friends, but minsan they already are getting the support that they need.
Hmm.
A buddy, a mentor, a life coach, a spiritual advisor, whatever you want to call that, always find that one
That
person or two
person.
persons,
Hmm.
someone that you can always get support and who can always tell you the hard truth.
Yes, yes. Okay. Yeah, but very important, that really to hear that hard truth, because we can always fool ourselves
Yeah.
and yeah, and go through life. But
Mm-mm.
other than that, I think that's one thing. Your a person can have that tendency to fool himself or herself. Are there other mistakes that people make, in trying to find their purpose?
Yeah. The only way you can make a mistake if you are not going to be true to yourself.
Okay.
Because if you're going to be authentic about yourself and accept who you truly are,
Mhm.
okay, and have that, relationship. Yung sinasabi ko nga kanina kasi may social responsibility ka rin eh. 'Di ba?
Yes.
Okay, sa family, sa friends, the community that you are in. That's why some really make mistakes. Number one, they're not true to themselves
Mhm.
because this is what society dictates. O di this
And then they just
this
try
kind
to.
of career makes a lot of money.
Right.
Ayun.
Right.
But actually, money will follow eh. If you do what you love to do, you can always
Mhm.
make money out of it eh. I mean, during the pandemic, 'di ba? A lot of businesses shut down. O
Yes.
what happened? Lumabas yung creativity ng mga tao.
Mhm.
People have been selling left and right. Food,
Yep.
plants, something creative. I know of a friend, suddenly gumagawa siya ng resin art. Ngayon may furniture na siyang ginagawa with that. We're going to have a speaker
Mhm.
on April 7 about that one. So suddenly,
Okay.
nagre-resin art siya, may mga furniture na siyang ginagawa.
Mhm.
It's
So
very
what
creative and
was the career before?
oh, there was a time he used to be parang sa'yo, looking at the stock market. There was a
Mm.
time
Mhm.
talaga it was like killing him. And
Okay.
then, okay, marketing is still okay. Well, finally, ito. Or one of my batchmates, she is now a renowned artist. She's
Mhm.
a lawyer and now a renowned artist.
Wow,
Painter.
from lawyer, lawyer to
Yes.
artist.
Yes.
That's very, very
Par-
different. Kasi lawyer, parang, di ba, kailangan logical and all that, no? Thinking of all these
Mhm.
uh, cases and all that,
Yes.
from to the other side na fully creative and all. Yeah.
Yes. And a lot of people are asking her to do some paintings and she's earning more, way, way more than she
Wow.
used when she was a lawyer.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
kasi one
Okay.
painting lang ang mahal na eh.
Yes. Yes.
Papa-commission ng work sa kanya.
Okay. Well, aside from those, were these people that you helped in career coaching?
Ah,
Or
different naman. These are the
okay.
things
Okay.
that I talked about wherein kasi initially this is the career might have
Hmm.
been chosen for them but took a long time for them to realize their ikigai. Now
Yes.
for those whom I have helped, okay, to naman she's a COO. COO meaning child of the owner. Okay, so
Okay.
as COO, you you are required diba, to take on the
The
business, the
business.
lifeblood of
Yes.
the company. However, she likes doing the creative stuff. So
Mhm.
there came a time she got depressed. Depressed na talaga kasi she's forced to do the business pero hindi yun yung
Mhm.
linya niya eh. So
What
after
is the
we
business?
meron silang mga yung mga patahian, very operational actually.
Okay.
A very operational business, day in, day out, full of operations. But remember, she's a very creative person.
Yes.
So when we did the exercise and realized what she loves doing, okay, and what her values are. Like you, after exercise, we really discuss that you have to talk to your parents. Have that hard stop. Parang, sige, help the company, whatever the business hours are, and
Mhm.
find that time for yourself to do what you love to do. So, nag-hard stop siya. So, after dinner time, yun na yung creative side niya. She creates
Mm.
blogs. She writes for other people. She's very good at that eh. She does hosting. So, the
Okay.
creative side na. Pero yun na nga. And the parents naman respects yung gusto niya. Kasi nga naman, during the day, sige, help the business.
Yes.
But
Yes.
meron siya talagang sacred time for herself to do the other things that she wants to do.
Okay. Okay. So just I guess to make her sane and happy to continue
Yes,
doing
we
the
have
hard
to
stuff.
we have to keep our sanity intact. Yun kasi it's a family business eh.
Yes.
So, it's not like when you're an employee. You can definitely resign anytime
Yep. And find other work.
and
Okay.
find other work.
Okay.
Ay,
So, uh, for example, um, they're interested, to get your help on finding their purpose using all the tools, using the card sort and any other tools that you use. Are there any events in the future, or how can they get in touch with you para they can start doing what they need to do?
okay. They can always connect with me. Okay, just send me a text message. Okay,
Hmm.
there's Facebook. I'm searchable in Google. And of course, we have our website, www.musencor.com. We also have our Facebook page. And every Wednesday nights, we have our Q Cafe sessions. It's for free, so they can just go to our FB page and look at Q Cafe sessions and just send us a message. And
Okay.
then, of course, they can just connect with me and we can always find a time if they need some coaching.
All right. So, sige. Let's go first with the Q Cafe sessions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The FB page. What is the FB page?
Oh, no, they still go to the Muzen Core consulting page and then they will see the
Okay.
Q
So
Cafe
that's
sessions.
facebook.com/muzencore.
Muzen Core.
Okay. So let me just type that in the
Yes.
StreamYard for their
All right.
benefit, just to make sure that we get this correctly. So facebook.com/muzencore.
Core consulting.
Oh, with consulting.
Mm-hmm.
Muzencore consulting. Yeah, is that correct?
Muzen Core consulting. Yan.
Here. All right. Yeah. All right. So, guys, for those of you that want to avail of this career coaching exercise, because like we mentioned, or like if you have heard through the entire recording, if you just joined, I would suggest that you go back to the very beginning to find out why it's important. It's important for your sanity, it's important for your happiness, to really find what it is that you really love doing, what you can get paid for, and it helps in increasing your lifespan, the longevity of your life. It's just one, right? That's just one aspect of finding your life purpose. Because what GovJG mentioned earlier, there's still also the health aspect. Eating the right food, your diet, exercising, having good social and family ties, but also finding your life purpose, being a very productive citizen in society. Uh, is part of long life and happiness. Ayan. Thank you very much, Gov JJ. Uh,
Thank you,
any like
Ronald, for having me
yes,
tonight.
any like last advice, for our uh, Ikigai seekers?
Well, of course, it's never too late to go for your dream job. Okay. And of course, we
Mhm.
can always help you achieve whatever goal you want in life. Okay. Through because in Musan Core Consulting, for 10 years, we've been helping people mind map, their strengths and help them achieve the goals that they want. So with that, Ronald, thank you very much. And definitely, I do hope people will find time to find their purpose in life because it's very important.
All right. So thank you very much, Kof JJ, for sharing, uh, the- sharing all your knowledge in helping people find their life purpose. And I hope that you guys go to facebook.com/Core Consulting and search for the free Q Cafe sessions. So there are a lot of different topics there. So just sort through whatever is interesting for you, and wait for those sessions that are about finding your life purpose. And so with that, again, thank you, Gov JJ, for spending time, sharing your knowledge with us. And I hope that everyone finds their life purpose, and I hope that all of your deals will push through. And so thank you. And oh, by the way, before you leave, please make sure to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe to the channel to to be notified whenever we have interesting people, interesting topics like this one. So again, with that, I hope to see you on our next live stream and our next video. So bye, guys. Bye, Gov JJ. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you, Ronald.
All right.